We are back.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome
one this
everybody.
week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Welcome everybody to NFC North West Coast Edition, and these are some fun games that occurred. Maybe fun for some, not so fun for others.
Fun subjective. Definitely subjective on this one.
For sure. So let's just get into it. Week 6 recap. Here we go. So Vikings were obviously on a bye. Yeah,
Wah.
Yeah, the NFC North went 2 of 3 this week, as predicted.
It was exactly how it was predicted.
So,
damn.
Yeah. All right.
And it was the good 2 and 3 because they could have been one of our team at any point.
Exactly. And I knew it was going to be. Figured the Packers were going to, take care of business against the Bengals, which they did. Got a little sloppy there at the end, but they did. I figured it would be a tough matchup for both the Bears and the Lions.
Yeah.
Both games were, but I figured we would go 1-1 there, and we did, and I'm glad that the Bears ended up on the winning side of that. So
it was revenge.
Yes, we can no longer be haunted by the Hail Mary.
See what happens when you get rid of what's his name, Pace, or was it no, what's his name?
The Flus.
Eberflus.
Yeah.
The beard.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
It feels better on this side of winning, right?
For sure. So
okay,
let's start with the Packers game. The Packers played at home against the Bengals.
We didn't play the Bengals. We played the Joe Flaccos.
Oh, the Joe Flaccos.
Yeah.
Got it. They came out on top 27-18. So thoughts, reactions, how you feeling?
There's nothing to feel. This game made me feel more concerned, if anything, than happy. Yes, we needed the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we won. Yes, Joe Flacco's a veteran. But that's the worst offensive line in the league.
Yeah, and it's just a tall task to ask of Joe Flacco. You're literally coming into the team 4 days before the game, and I get it because I think that having Flacco back there is better than Browning at this point in the career. But
it did wonders for my fantasy team.
But it's it's a scary risk because you're playing against, I don't know. This Packers defense is not living up to expectations, and
it's two different teams. Like the first 2 weeks, they look like they could win the Super Bowl right there and then.
Yeah.
Now I don't even know if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see the direction that they're trending right now defensively.
To add to your point, again, this is the worst offensive line in the league, and we got 1 sack.
Yep.
And it wasn't even Micah Parsons. And don't get me wrong, Micah Parsons was doubled and triple covered, but it was Lucas Van Ness who ended up getting injured in this game. So I'm a little concerned. That's the very least that I could say. I'm very concerned.
Yeah, I think that their defense is definitely looking suspect the past couple of weeks, and I don't really know what to contribute that to. I think part of it is, I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again, the cornerback position.
Oh yeah. In this game, the cornerbacks kind of played. They played pretty good. Valentine had a decent game, except for grittying in front of Jamar Chase, which pissed them off, and that's how they got that late garbage time touchdown at the end.
Yeah, and I get it. It is garbage time, but at the same time, I think that Flacco, you could see things open up in the fourth quarter. Again, that's back-to-back weeks now, and NFC North is playing the Bengals, and
they're feisty.
Yeah,
they're very feisty.
They got a little something going there.
Yeah. I will say this, though. It added concerns for the defense for me, definitely. It actually eased my concerns for the offense more, because in the fourth quarter, we scored, 18 points or something like that?
Yeah, it's nice to see. So one of the things, though, is I thought the offense really started off slow.
Yes, first 10-0 in the first half.
And I have to contribute a lot of the success to really just Jordan Love kind of carrying the weight, in my
Oh, yeah.
opinion. And
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like there's a shift on where Matt LaFleur was carrying all this weight and scheming people open, and Jordan Love was benefiting from that. Now I kind of feel like Matt LaFleur is getting a little too conservative, and Jordan Love is the one carrying him for now. Again, they need to mesh well complete, like for this to even become a competent team. But I feel like Matt LaFleur is a little too conservative at this moment.
interesting. I don't really have a take on that right now.
It's early. It's early. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's nice to see Matthew Golden's role continue to
Yeah.
increase each week.
He is becoming our third down wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is not good to say either, but he's becoming our fourth down wide receiver in important fourth down roles. He had one that allowed us to get the tie against the Cowboys, which was like 10 yards, 4th and 10 or something like that, or 4th and 8. And then he had another one in this game that converted that allowed us to at least keep control of the game, if you will.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see Matthew Golden, those when they said that he has really solid hands. Yeah, I believe it. He has really solid hands.
Yeah. Do you still think he's the best route runner of the class?
Yeah, I still think that he has the potential for that.
Oof.
Again,
Emeka Ibuka is just a beast at route running. I don't know.
But we weren't talking about Emeka Ibuka as the main route runner. We were talking about other players in that route. Like we were talking about Luther Burton. But
what? I absolutely brought him up when you made the claim that he was the best route runner of this class.
I don't remember that, but it could be.
Good thing we have it on the podcast. Pull up the receipts.
There's no receipts.
Pull up the receipts.
Delete everything.
But no, I mean, to your point though about Matthew Golden continuing to, show that he's gonna grow in this offense and he's gonna have a role going forward. I think because Wicks is injured too now, right? Yeah. So I mean, good thing you have 20 receivers.
Yeah, but they're all going down.
Well, you have 18 left.
Well, we got to get Mecole Hardman back from practice squad.
What's going on with Christian Watson?
He's practicing.
Oh, okay.
He's back in practice, and I don't think he's coming back in the next few weeks. I think it's going to take a little bit more time, but him coming back into practice is a good sign at the very least.
Nice. Yeah.
Knowing the Packers medical staff, they're so conservative, which good protect the players, but they're on the more conservative side that he might not play for another month or two.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. I look at other teams. Okay, the 49ers, for example. Dude,
what is it? The 40, the IR something. They made a funny joke on
that.
Yeah,
I actually watched a video meme today, and it was like, how you introduce the team and you show them coming out of the huddle, and they go, now you're San Francisco 49er, and then everybody was wheeling out on a wheelchair. The entire team.
Have you seen the other joke that they're saying that the 49ers are purposely sacrificing their own players to the football god so they could keep Christian McCaffrey healthy?
Oh gosh. Well, please do so because he's keeping my fantasy team alive. Please continue to make the sacrifice for the greater good of Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, they're going to run out of team or players at some point. It's okay. That team is
but they're still winning.
They're still winning because Christian McCaffrey, we forgot, well, you didn't forget. The rest of the league and the rest of the world forgot that this guy was the best running back multiple years in a row, and one injury.
Yeah.
It's funny because history repeats itself. He was the best running back when he was in the Panthers, and then he got injured, and everyone's like, oh, he's washed. This is it. And then he went to the Niners, and oh, he is the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
And then he gets injured again, and people are like, oh, no, he's washed. No, he is the best running back in the league.
Yeah, I fingers crossed that he stays healthy. So whatever you're doing, 49ers, keep doing it to keep McCaffrey healthy. Because, but did you see Fred Warner's injury?
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Brutal. Yeah, that was brutal.
The Niners.
Yeah, sorry. We went on a little Niners rant.
I hate that team so much.
We just started thinking about the injuries. I just remembered the wheelchair, and it was a great video. And then I'm sorry, my last thought on this though, but somebody put a comment. It was just the best comment I had ever seen. They basically go, "Oh, next time do it with AI now."
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh,
I
so
mean,
good.
it's so true though.
Yeah,
I
that's what it feels like, though. It
it's how it
feels like
feels like.
that. It
But
feels like
it's
everybody.
not even this year. It's every damn year for that team.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
like the Lions last year, but the Niners have
Yeah,
perfected
I
injuring
I felt
everyone.
that way for a long time with the Bears, to be honest.
That's
Like
fair.
5 from like 3 to like 6 years ago, it just felt like every single year we had the most injuries in the league. And then the past couple of
Yeah.
years it's gotten a little better, but
Speaking about the Bears in the past, I did kind of want to ask you about this. Uh, we've had so many conversations about it, and I know this team is known. The Jets are known for destroying quarterbacks' careers.
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is someone that like they almost destroyed his legacy just because he was there for a year or two. But what do we think of Justin Fields? Because he's had so many chances at this point.
Yeah, I mean, has he though? He goes to Pittsburgh where he plays behind Russell Wilson, and yeah, he does get the start. I mean, I don't I think that Justin Fields is still capable in playing in this league, but I can definitely confess that the arm talent is not, besides his deep ball, it's not where,
Yeah,
you know, it but I think with his athletic ability, but it's again, it's like situational,
yeah,
because
I
you are
agree.
you are at the quarterback position to play quarterback.
Yeah,
Maybe he becomes like a Taysom Hill, you
that's
know?
possible, or
So,
a career backup.
yeah, yeah.
Because here's the thing: we had this criticism we talked about. I mean, I feel like you had the criticism, and rightfully so, with Lamar Jackson,
Mhm.
where you said he's more of a runner and he needs to learn how to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Granted, this year is not a good litmus test for that, but in the previous years, he's learned how to be a really good passer, and he's developed his running and passing, and he became a formidable MVP
Yeah.
candidate every year. I don't think Justin Fields ever became a formidable passer.
But you look at his coaches and they've never been offensive
I mean,
coaches.
that's fair.
So that's the other, kind of thing about it, and
I mean, this year, I get the Jets. That's a fucked up situation. That will destroy every quarterback's career. So maybe he deserves one more chance. I'm still kind of iffy on that. But there's only two stat lines this whole year in the whole NFL where a quarterback has less than 50 yards, and they both belong to
yeah.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, and something that, I mean, not even talking about his arm talent, but the thing that I've always noticed about Justin Fields is he just holds on to the ball too long and he really lacks, situational awareness and seeing the field. And if you can't do those at a high level, regardless of your arm talent, then,
It's unfortunate.
yeah, you're just making it more difficult
You know,
to have any form of success.
he is he probably is the most talented runner I've ever seen in a quarterback for since maybe Michael Vick.
Yeah.
But yeah, he never developed the pass. And while Caleb is not as talented in running, he's such a talented runner that he makes up for a lot of things, but he never runs to run. He runs to pass. And
Yeah.
Justin Fields never became a run to pass first type of quarterback. And
Yeah.
that's always gonna be my criticism of him.
Yeah. 100% agree. All right.
Be
Oh, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say before we move on, I did want to say something about the Packers.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
go
okay.
back to the Packers, but go
Oh
ahead.
no, go on, go on.
Well, I was just going to ask, do you think that this was Jordan Love's best game of the season so far?
No, no. I think the against the Cowboys was the best game of the season. I think that this was the he could carry the team on his back type of game.
Mhm.
So they mean different things depending on what we're trying to get at. I feel like this game is the okay. Maybe Jordan Love could carry or lead the team. Is a better way to put it. But last week was that's what his natural talent is. He is talented enough to get he got what 350 yards, 4 touchdowns or something like that, and he was able to keep up in every single scenario where okay, the Cowboys scored in 30 seconds. Okay, you have 37 seconds. You got to get me to this point. Okay, overtime. They got the field goal. You got to get to this. Granted, he didn't get the one that mattered,
Yeah.
but he got to the point that at least he got the tie. Last week, more impressive in my opinion. Matt LaFleur still held him back. This week, I feel like this is the I'm taking leadership.
Gotcha. What were you gonna say about the Packers?
I so it's weird. The Packer fan in me is happy that we didn't get another point or 3 points scored against us. The football fan in me is pissed
Yeah.
because that 67-yarder should have it went in. It went in. Matt LaFleur called the timeout.
Mhm.
And the whole NFL is probably mad because it would have been the longest ever, not indoor, not outdoor, not at Denver. It would have been the longest field goal in the history of the NFL. And now he ruined that with a timeout.
Leg with the wind, and it is gusting to 20. And he's got the accuracy.
It hit it.
Timeout Green Bay. Timeout Green Bay as he hit the crossbar.
It hit the crossbar and
went in.
What would have been 3 more points? The Packers already only gave me 3 points in fantasy. It would have been fine.
What's crazy about this, though, is, I mean, think about it. Now, we used to think like 50-yard field goals was going to be fucking impossible. Now you have teams that are trying 55 plus 60-yarders. I mean, this is insane. And
Aubrey's trying a 60-yarder every week.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to edit the point scoring in our fantasy league
for
next
60
year
right?
for 60-yarders.
10 points right there.
Yeah, because that's just absolutely insane.
We're gonna have to pick up Aubrey in the 3rd round or something.
Yeah, let's just give us a couple final thoughts on, the Bengals and the Packers. Again, this game went how I thought it was going to go. I thought that, the Packers playing at home after the bye week I picked the Bengals to be my loser of the week. So I'm continuing on in that survival week.
Joe Flacco was making it interesting, though.
But he did make it interesting. And, I think that the Bengals, regardless of what their record says and the injuries and, having problems on both of the lines besides. And that's the other thing also that I wanted to bring up is it seemed like the offense didn't get going until Trey Hendrickson went out. And once he went down, then they really started to find rhythm.
That's when Josh Jacobs really went off.
Yeah. So, and I mean, that's a big compliment to Hendrickson because
he's their defense. Yeah. Let's be fair. That he's the whole defense.
Yeah. So, but
I agree with that. That's our offensive line is a little bit more back together. We got we got Zach Tom back, but it still seems like it's kind of iffy. And Trey was disruptive for the whole first half.
Yeah.
And then when we had 10-0 and I saw Joe Flacco on the other side, I'm like, not this again. Not this again. Don't do this to me.
Yep. All right. Any other thoughts that you'd like to bring up about the Packers game?
I wish we would actually sack Flacco more for that loss against the Browns. So I'm still a little upset we didn't do that belt to ass thing.
Alrighty, let's move on to our Sunday night game of the week. We had the Lions playing in Kansas City. Lions losing this game. Chiefs winning 30-17 was the final score. So we talked about it last week. We knew the Chiefs would be coming into this game in desperation mode, and you could tell from the get-go. The first half was really back and forth. I said that the deciding factor was going to be if the Chiefs could keep up with the Lions scoring. Not only in the first half did they trade back and forth multiple times, but then their defense really started to show up in the second half, and the Lions offense just completely went stagnant.
Yeah, I feel like after that trick play that happened, it kind of threw their momentum off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think they were held to like less than 10 rushing yards in the second half, which is an absurd stat, if you ask me.
Especially with that tandem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
concerning.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs have a good defense. We get that, but we've seen other teams like their ability to be able to move on them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. It seemed like Dan Campbell got out Dan Campbell because the Chiefs were more aggressive than the Lions in this game.
Yeah, I think in the first half, both teams kind of knew they were going to need to put points on the board. And then the second half, I just feel that Kansas City came out with a bigger sense of urgency. They played with way more intensity. And, the Lions also playing in a hostile environment did not
Yeah.
meet those. And that's what I always say about Jared Goff, though. He plays great at home in big moments. What really concerns me, and I'm not saying he's the reason the Lions lost this game, but that's the kind of things that you see because Mahomes on the road, he can provide that spark.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't see Jared Goff providing that spark on the road in games like this.
Yeah. I mean, I know what you mean by this because it's unfair to compare to Patrick Mahomes, but just to compare to any elite quarterback, let's say, because some people try to put Goff in that sphere, like he's an elite quarterback, and sometimes he puts the numbers. But like we always push back, there's those moments, those intangible moments that like you think, okay, let me get over that hill. He never does. He never
Yeah.
does.
In order for the Lions to just continue success, they have to continue to play complementary football in all three phases.
Yeah.
And in this game specifically, their defense in the second half and their offense in the second half just didn't.
Yeah.
Neither of them really showed up. And, this is going back to, we talked about it. Oh my gosh. Terrion Arnold
Yeah.
being out. Patrick Mahomes was just destroying them. I mean,
Yeah.
I think like 5 different receivers had over 50 yards. He was really spreading the ball, couldn't contain Travis Kelce. So,
And it's not like the Chiefs have a world-class receiving core. Like, they have decent contributors, but there's no one in that team besides maybe Rice when he comes back that would scare me as a defense.
yeah, they're definitely on their like second, third, fourth stringer receivers.
Yeah.
It's not like their starting core.
They have
I
their
mean, Worthy's back now, but
yeah, but Worthy's a go route type of wide receiver.
yeah.
He goes for the fast, long, deep. Like you said, you don't throw that many deep balls downfield. You'll maybe throw 6. You're not throwing 20 of them. So, yeah, I don't know how the Lions feel good about their defense right now, considering that they let third string wide receivers run all over them or push them around basically.
Yep. Another thing for the Lions is so Amon-Ra St. Brown, let's see. He was 45 yards in this game.
Ugh.
And then Jahmyr Gibbs 65 yards on 17 carries. I think that it is, and this is what I was saying about where I thought Jameson Williams would really start to improve on a possession type receiver because it has been shown if you can contain Amon-Ra,
The Lions
have problems moving the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And now you combine that with containing the run. This is what I'm saying is you're not going to win football games based on Jared Goff's arm alone.
Oh, yeah. I think that the Lions are seeing that at some point. I mean, they still love him. But I think we're seeing the writing on the wall that if they can't make this Super Bowl push now, the future is not Jared Goff.
I'd argue differently, and I think that Lions fans still think that Jared Goff is going to be that person that takes them to the promised land. I think there are, a good amount. I would say it's like 70-30, right? 70% of Lions fans are convinced that this is the roster, this is the quarterback that they needed, and they're going to finally win a Super Bowl. The other 30% of Lions fans are probably realists and are like, I don't know, guys, but I'm still going to support because, we're diehard Lions fans, but I am concerned, that no matter what, we're just never going to get over the hump because you have, and we can talk about this later in the show, but what's very interesting right now is you see a lot of veteran quarterbacks losing games right now because of these young, really talented QBs. And especially now you have a draft class last year where it was 6 QBs taken in the top 10.
Yeah.
They've had a little bit of time and now we're looking at, the Giants beating Philly. We're looking at New England beating the Bills. So it's a very interesting thing that is starting to happen right now. And that's where I'm going with, I mean, we even saw it last year. Jaden Daniels beat
Fantastic.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, no,
So-
perfect. I was gonna say that is, it's happened, and he's got beaten by these new generation type quarterbacks. And if you look at all of our teams, I know that Jordan Love's a little bit older, but he's still young. He's 25 years old.
Mhm.
26, I think he's turning.
Yeah, I think it's 26.
Caleb is what, 22, 23?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have
JJ. I think he's the youngest,
Yeah.
but yeah, we did a whole episode on this. But
so
yeah,
the point I'm trying to get is they are considered the new generation of quarterbacks. And Jared Goff still plays the game the way that the old generation of quarterbacks play.
Mhm.
He's not very mobile. He runs, and he tries to run, but he kind of like, he power walks maybe at most. He still plays, let's stay in the pocket. My offensive line's going to protect me. And he rarely gets out to make new plays or extend the plays.
Yeah.
I think we're over that. I think we're getting to a point that Jared Goff is going to be outdated by what the NFL needs.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see, but I think honestly the Chiefs kind of gave the league a recipe to beat the Lions.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Not
yeah.
Of course, executing that game plan is much harder.
You need an actual defense to do it.
But if you can come out with that intensity, you can come out with a defense with a solid game plan to contain their top receiver who Jared Goff has such a connection with, where, nobody else, I mean, maybe Laporta, but it doesn't seem like Jameson Williams is going to take that step if he hasn't already. There's still time. I understand we're 6 weeks into the season now, but usually you start to see trends by this time, right? We give him the first month, kind of a grace period, but we're 6 weeks in now.
Yeah. Well,
so
we thought he was going to take that step to be a potential 1B type of player, but he's playing like Xavier Worthy. He's catching the ball.
Yeah, he's not morphing into a multi-purpose role.
Yeah. And which I hate because I have him on my fantasy team. And I regret because I could have picked up so many other players.
Yeah.
You made me lose my week, my flex, man.
All right. The last thing I want to talk about this game, though, is the scuffle at the end and the cheap shot by Brian Branch on Juju Smith-Schuster. So what are your thoughts on this?
There's two things could be true at the same time. You could be happy that this happened to Juju because the whole league hates Juju. Juju's annoying.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a USC fan.
Mm-hmm.
Juju is annoying. But at the same time, you can't hurt your team like that. That was a childish, immature thing to do.
Yeah, and now he's suspended a game.
Yeah.
So,
Which I think they went light on him.
Yeah, he's going to appeal, but...
He should not...
And I don't, obviously, this is just what reports are saying, but apparently, Patrick Mahomes tried to give a handshake to Brian Branch at the end of the game, and he was not having it. He was being a sore loser.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I saw, it actually looked like Juju Smith-Schuster tried to, shake his hand as well, and then he just, right in the face, and it was, right in the helmet.
And here's the thing, we don't know what happened through the game and all the talking, but that doesn't matter. The game is over. Shake hands. If you don't want to shake hands, go to the locker room.
You're already thin at the defensive back spot, and now you're gonna lose your top safety. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
And he's lucky that it was only a 1. So
I agree.
If it would have been another player, if he would have done this to Patrick Mahomes, I feel like it would have been 2, 3, 4 games.
Yeah. And they're playing the Bucks next week, which now you're playing one of the most explosive offense. Granted, now all their receivers are gone because
Luka.
But still, I mean, Baker Mayfield, I got to give that guy his roses because
I love that dude.
To come from the early days with the Browns to where he is now, you complete 180, and I'm so happy for him, and I'm glad that he's playing lights out, and he's putting it out on the field, and good for him. And I'm
look at how karma works.
Yeah,
the Browns are dismantled. They don't know who to use for quarterback. Gabriel, this tiny little dude, looks terrible, and they're just horrible right now. And that team has no hope.
Yeah,
and then Baker is potentially an MVP candidate right now.
I agree. I agree. And you know what? To our former interdivision NFC North Tampa Bay Bucks, We're rooting for you.
Yeah, we are.
Besides our team, so
We're-
I'm really happy for them, and and I've always really like the Warren Sapp days. I've always really liked the Bucks, but
yeah.
I didn't like them when Tom Brady was there. Sorry.
Yeah, Brady automatically makes you lose a lot of likable points. Yeah.
Wasn't a fan then.
But I'm not happy because we lost the NFC Championship to them, so I'm not really happy about that. But I am happy that they're doing good, and Baker's one of my favorite players. So I'm happy that he proved that league wrong, and I'm happy that he was the recipe, if you will, for a quarterback getting a second chance.
Yeah,
I don't think that you get your what's his name, Geno Smiths, or I don't think you get your.
I mean, it's crazy because we have so many like revival QBs right now. We have so many young QBs, and then we have so many like really good dominant veteran QBs. And again, going back to this like kind of it's been a very strange season so far.
It really has.
And we're seeing like for the last couple years it's felt like there have been like 2 or 3, maybe 4 teams that just are really dominating where like they're making the playoffs. Right now, it is wide open.
Even the Bills lost.
Exactly.
Even the Bills lost.
Exactly. It's been the Chiefs for the past couple years. They've been looking up and down. It's been the Bills. It's been the Ravens. It's been Philly, who again just suffered another loss.
I will say Philly is the biggest fraud. They are my fantasy team in this league because they don't have any definitive win. And the teams that they beat suck. They beat the Ravens. The Ravens look like they're one of the worst teams in the league.
Well, and the Ravens have been a great team the past couple of years. And so, again, this season is shaping up to be very interesting. And if you were to ask me in the beginning of the season, who are going to be your top 4 teams making the playoffs, I would have probably said all the teams we just mentioned.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, dude, I don't know because it's
the AFC looks like it's gonna go to Aaron Rodgers. Can you believe that?
Oh gosh, that guy is so lucky he's playing in like the shittiest division of football. But I mean,
that guy has so much luck. It's the ayahuasca and the spiritual retreats. He's manifesting something. I don't know what is happening, but he's gonna win an MVP. The league is gonna want to give him the most MVPs in the history of the NFL.
No,
I know. I'm just the script's being written. The script's gonna be written.
All right,
Baker, you better win this.
Any other thoughts though about the Lions Chiefs? Because that's really, I mean, to sum it up,
I think you put it perfectly. The Chiefs just gave the whole league the recipe on how to beat the Lions, and I think that Kirby just gave the whole league the recipe on how to get him mad. You just got to confront him when he's frustrated or purposely frustrate him because he's young and he's hot-headed. And if you just push those buttons, you're going to get penalties. And I think that if he doesn't grow up quick, he's going to start making his team pay for all those.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but
come on, Baker, you got this.
Knew it was going to be a tough one for the Lions, and it indeed turned out to be that way. And
before we move on, what did you think of that first play? The Jared Goff catch from Monty.
Was that
the first touchdown play?
Honestly, I don't think I see it. I went out to dinner with my family, so I was kind of like in and out of the game.
It was because Lions fans are pretty mad, but it was blatantly like I'm gonna give this one on the refs. The refs sucked this game, but he never held his position. He was a runner. I give this one like there was a dumb implementation. I can't say that damn word. It was implemented incorrectly, and I feel like they didn't practice it enough because Jared Goff is slow as fuck, so he rushed it. I should never use the word rush for Jared Goff ever again.
Oh boy. Okay. Interesting. All right. I don't have any more thoughts about this game.
I just wanted to bring that up so I could put that video of his slow walk into the end zone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Perfect.
Got it.
And Goff out of there, direct snap, throw to Goff, who gets it and scores a touchdown. As he did last year in Detroit, receiving a touchdown. That one not as smooth a catch, but the block on the edge gave him a chance. And on the pass to Goff, from Montgomery. And now he throws a flag.
After discussion, the quarterback never got set, therefore it's illegal motion. Offense, number 16. It's a 5-yard penalty, replay, 4th down.
Oh my goodness. Think about that. How confident are you in this football team to throw it out to your quarterback? What a clever play. We have seen that wildcat formation.
Alrighty, moving on to our third and final NFC North game this week. The Bears at Commanders. Bears playing in Washington. It was our redemption game, baby. Coming out on top with a last-minute field goal, 25-24.
That was a fun game.
Interesting enough, that's the same score as the Raiders game, but just flipped. This time we blocked.
Yeah.
So, dude, wild. But yes, another thriller, and it was just sweet, sweet revenge. It really was. And, I think they asked Caleb Williams about this post-game because, they're saying, when the Commanders fumbled there at the end and gave us the ball back, one of the first things he said is, I just didn't want to give Washington the ball back. And
he's got trauma.
Yeah, exactly. And because last game, he marched us down the field, put us on top after a touchdown, and then freaking loses to the Hail Mary.
He did what he had to do last year. And
So as much as the players want to say, nah, we don't think about those guys wanted it. That he was like, I'm not giving them the fucking ball back because I'm not trying to relive the trauma of last year.
I think the players that say stupid shit like that are setting themselves for failure because you want to learn from those mistakes and you want to think, I want the ball last.
Yeah.
Because they burned us. I know how talented that quarterback is. And if he has the ball last, you never know what could happen.
Yeah. I do believe, from Ben Johnson's perspective, because he wasn't there.
Yeah.
But all the other players that were there, and he even tried to downplay it. He was like, I think half of those players aren't even here anymore. Lies. Half of them are still definitely at least there.
Yeah, maybe some defensive players, but your offense all witnessed that, and they're all they're not happy. So they're happy now.
Yeah.
And oh my god, that game gave me high blood pressure through the whole game.
Yeah, I was very, very nervous. I felt nauseous at the end. I kept saying I did not want this to come down to a Jake Moody field goal, especially because they talked about it all freaking game. First of all, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are absolute haters of the Bears. I don't know what Caleb Williams ever did to Troy Aikman, but bro, the amount of shade he was riding Jaden Daniels, beep, the whole game. And then anytime Caleb Williams just did anything good, it was shaded into this guy is not good and he needs to do this and him. But that's besides the point. But it was
so the
terrible.
Quarterback that basically got carried by his running back and his defense, he's talking shit about other quarterbacks. Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't want it to come down. The announcers kept talking about how inconsistent Jake Moody's field goal kicking has been. And then you had that, low kick earlier in the game that got blocked. So it was just super high anxiety and
the stress was high.
Yeah. And so many times, and my cousins talked about it in the fantasy league of why are field goals, which are such a routine play, so traumatic for us? And I think they're right. We have PTSD because of all the times Bears fans have suffered losses like that. We're usually the ones fumbling on our final drive. We're usually the ones getting our field goal kicks blocked.
Or the double doinks.
We're always losing in the most incredibly heartbreaking fashion. And even last year, and we talked about this in the beginning of I think maybe the first week of the season or maybe a couple weeks before, but similar to how the Vikings lost multiple one-score games the season before and then the next year just started winning those games and making the playoffs. And that was my hope for this year for the Bears, because we lost multiple
Yeah.
one-score games last year. I mean, I want to say at least like 10.
Well, many of those were
And-
even just by a field goal. So
and exactly.
minimal on the one score.
And so I know it's early. I'm trying to stay level-headed, but it just feels so good. It feels so good to actually be that team that is closing out these games and these hard-earned wins, and still a lot of room for improvement, but it's just
You can see the progress. There's, for the first time, there might be some hope for the Bears fans because
don't get too hopeful, Bears fans, though,
yeah.
because we know what happens when we do.
But Ben Johnson, at the very least, he's winning these games that in previous years you guys would have lost in heartbreak.
Absolutely. And, 1 in 10 coming out of the bye week.
Yep.
You have 2 weeks to prepare for one team, and we've been 1 in 10 the last 11 years. That's just poor coaching,
Yeah,
poor
at this point,
preparation.
you don't even want a bye week.
And this game, you could tell they were prepared. We gave up 200 plus yards to Ashton Genty. We gave up, what is it? Help. I don't even have the stats here, but I think it was like, right here, 61 rushing yards
to Crockett.
who had a terrific game last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is such an explosive offense, especially with Jane Daniels. And, Jane Daniels, I think, had 52 rushing yards, which is still a lot for a quarterback. But you could tell the defense came prepared, and they were like, we're not going to let this guy run over us. They did such a nice job on the run game, and, the takeaways. Still can't stand Deshaun Wright. I don't care that he recovered the fumble. The guy drives me crazy the entire game. But they came out prepared. They had a great defensive game plan, and they executed it. And
I feel like you brought, in the beginning of the season, you said that you wanted accountability. And every time you guys, even if you've won some of these games, the thing that almost made you lose these games, you've been accountable for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Genty had almost 200 yards. Well, now you held someone to 60 yards.
Yeah.
Not enough turnovers. There's been more turnovers now. You couldn't move the ball when you were going against the Lions. Well, now you're moving the ball, even in like clutch time moments. You're moving the ball a lot easier than in any year that I've seen the Bears in the last decade. So I see the needle moving in the progress area for the Bears. And again, maybe you make the playoffs, maybe you don't. We don't know if any of our teams make the playoffs except for whoever wins the North, because it's just a crazy NFL this year. But I do see the Bears improving a lot more than I've seen in so long.
Yeah, and the other thing is I got to give roses to the offensive line, who played absolutely terrific in this game. They, were opening up some really nice holes and Washington's got a good defense. It's not like they've got a bad defense. And the amount of holes that the offensive line was opening up for DeAndre Swift were incredible. I continue to see DJ Moore and Rome and the tight ends blocking, and that's just more of, the Ben Johnson identity, because that's what Detroit does.
Yeah.
And that increases, that literally changes the trajectory of runs from 5 yards to 10-yard gains, because you are getting that extra block on, whoever is out there on the edge. And you could just tell that they're continuing to make the improvement. Darnell Wright did not have one single false start, which is a miracle this game. So
less penalties.
Kudos to that. Theo Benedict is really coming along nicely. And the other thing about Darnell Wright, is just to touch on him one more time, is not only did he clean up the mental errors this week, and obviously we have to stay consistent, but he was out there in front of DeAndre Swift blocking I don't know how many times. So I think they kind of found a little recipe there that Darnell can actually get out there and run and be that lead blocker. But yeah, it was just really nice to see all around. And, Caleb Williams, again, continues to show that he can perform in clutch moments. It's much easier when you have the run game going, but
it's funny because where's all the shit talkers now?
I know, right?
And they'll come back. Don't get me wrong. If you guys were to lose a game, they'll come back. But when everything is going well, he never gets his flowers.
Yeah, there's sort of like this trend going on around Bears social media right now, not like actual Chicago Bears, but Bears fans, is the interception that Jaden Daniels threw, in the red zone, and Jaquan Brisker just completely cut in front of that ball. If Caleb Williams had made that interception, hell
they
would have been broken loose.
Tore him a new one.
That guy sucks. He's inaccurate. And don't get me wrong, Caleb Williams, he played well enough to win this game, but he did not have his best game.
Of course.
And, he definitely missed some key throws. But also the refs were atrocious this game.
I saw that.
I mean, some of the points I have here, and I couldn't, this is only the things that came on top of my head. The offensive passing interference on Colston Loveland. Oh my gosh, lost my mind, dude. The guy was already backpedaling, and because you just see how many times, and I'm pretty sure it was within the 5-yard line where contact is completely legal. So that was a terrible call. The offsides on DJ Moore, that was also sus. The illegal formation on Theo Benedict, which I'm pretty sure forced the Rome touchdown to be called off. Another call, like where Alameda Zacchaeus, I think, got the first down. I mean, it was bad calls. I mean, I understand the one roughing the passer on, Jaquan Brisker was roughing the passer. That was absolutely should have been called. But the other one where like Montez Sweat hand just like grazed Jaden Daniels' helmet.
Did he take a note for what happened to Aaron Rodgers? Because he did the same thing. He's like,
I'm like, I'm like, the guy tries to go up and basically try and block and then just like grazes and it's flag. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
We're seeing where the league is going, what quarterback they want to be the next Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, dude. It was crazy.
But yeah, I think these two quarterbacks are going to be connected in conversation or in the discourse for the next 10 to 15 years.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think
it's a 1 and 2 pick. It's,
And I think that right now you guys are 1-1. And they're both
really should be 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
But,
true,
that's
true,
okay.
Very true. But the point I'm trying to get at is I saw Jaden McDaniels. I saw Jaden Daniels make mistakes and do some bad throws. I saw Caleb do the same thing. They're both young quarterbacks. They're gonna do that. But I only see one of them ever get critical or get all the critique of the whole NFL world, while the other one gets praised for doing the same things.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one just further thought I had watching this game with Caleb is I don't know if he is on a mission to not use his legs, but it almost seems like he purposely, and to your point, yes, like when Caleb gets out of the pocket, he's always looking to pass first.
Yeah.
But there are some plays where I'm just like, just run for it, because I see how many times, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, they pick up first downs because that's what the defense is giving them.
Yeah, that's fair.
And sometimes with Caleb, it just feels like he's trying too much. He's trying to like do too much is what I'm trying to say. He's trying to make things happen and is constantly looking down the field and trying to throw the ball into these tight windows when it's like, just pick up those extra 4 yards and
get the first down.
And get the first down or be in a 3rd and 2 situation instead of a 3rd and 6 situation.
Agreed.
So it's just, that's something that I would like to see. But again, I don't know what he's being told by the coaching staff.
Well, I was going to say, Ben, you're being unfair because Ben Johnson had Captain Slow in the previous year. So he's not used to having a mobile quarterback that you could tell him, you know what, pick up the first down if you have the opportunity. Because the reality is that Jared Goff would take 20 seconds to get that first down if he's running it.
Yeah, true. Very true. But yeah, I think if Caleb, and to be honest, I don't mind it. I don't mind the like not wanting to run, especially because as, these guys get older and their career continues, that's not going to be quite the option for them anymore, right? You're going to lose a step as you age naturally. But your arm talent can always be there, and your field vision can always be there.
Aaron Rodgers is an example of that. His arm talent's still there. He just can't run anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So,
which that would be the last time I ever praised Aaron Rodgers.
But anyway, from the Bears' perspective, it feels really good. You know, we're on a three-peat right now, 3 straight wins after starting the season 0-2. So that I'm just excited. I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for Bears fans because it's been a real rough patch. Again, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but you could just see, like you're saying, as the progress continues and we are still trending in the right direction.
We are too. We this is our first win in 3 weeks, and we only have 1 loss. So
Congratulations.
we went against Joe Flacco. We're afraid of
The
Joe
Flaccos.
Flacco. The Flacco.
The Flaccos.
One last point I wanted to put on all 3 of our teams. It looked like the teams that won this week were the teams that were able to rely on the running backs or their offensive line to get the running backs into the game to help the tempo of the game. And Josh Jacobs had a fantastic game, 2 touchdowns, almost 100 yards. And Swift, I've been super critical of Swift, but I can't be on this game. He played fantastic.
Yeah, you can see what he can do when the holes are there. So, and when he gets in space, he's scary.
I just don't think he's a bruiser. I don't think he's...
No, I agree.
And I feel like now we're seeing Ben Johnson adapt to that because he's not going to go through any defensive players.
I mean, and let's be fair, right? The one advantage that both of our teams have is we were coming off a bye week, so the teams are well rested. Their bodies, are feeling good, especially when you think about the trenches and the running back position, right? Because they are just in constant contact mode, and that is one advantage that both of our teams have. But at the same time, to me, it wasn't for the Lions specifically in this game. It was just they just failed to match the intensity.
Well, they got away from the run too.
Yeah,
and on top of that is I'll give you the bye week. It helped our offensive line. It helped your offensive line. It does help. I'm not taking that away. But they have something we don't have. They have 2 starting caliber running backs that they shift constantly. It's none of them ever get 25 touches. They get 12, 15.
Mm-hmm.
So they're always fresh. To get away from those 2 who they like to say Sonic and Knuckles all the damn time, you get away from the 2 best running backs or potentially the 2 best running backs in the league, that's a coaching mistake.
Yeah.
That's a coaching mistake. That's something that Ben Johnson would not have allowed.
Yeah. Well, and I, we have kind of pointed that out too, is that our run game really just until, this past weekend's game, it really never gained traction, but he stuck with it. And he continued to kind of establish that. But I mean, we'll see. We always take it one game at a time, right?
It's a good week, though. You guys won. We won.
It's a great
Have
week.
you seen how I have the lines behind me?
Dang. Oh, bom, bom, bom.
They're upside down.
Alrighty. Well, let's take a look at where the NFC North standings currently are after 6 weeks. We have Green Bay on top at 3-1-1, Detroit in second, 4-2, Minnesota third, 3-2, and the Bears also 3-2, but have already lost 2 divisional games. So we will continue to be at the bottom. Sucks.
Why?
Really
This is
sucks.
such a competitive division, man. We're the only division has all the teams over 500.
Yep. Oh, cue me fun fact right now. Actually, let's do a different sound bit because this is not quite. I mean, it's a fact, but it's more of like a pondering thought.
Dun, 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 dun. I'll come up with something.
Pondering thought. All right.
So
So in place of our fun fact
give
today,
it a sec. Give it a sec. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
all right, cool. So in place of our fun fact today, again, it is a fact, but it's more of a pondering thought. So heading into week 7 last year, the entire NFC North was also above 500. We just talked about the standings, right?
That's right.
Last year, all right, we had Minnesota on top, 5-0, Detroit at 4-1, Chicago in third at 4-2, and Green Bay at the bottom, 4-2. So last year, it was the top 2 and the last seed that made the playoffs. Will history repeat itself? So if we're looking at that right
Damn.
now, top 2 would be Green Bay and Detroit, and the last seed would be Chicago. Will history repeat itself?
I am cool if in this scenario it's Green Bay getting the top seed and then you guys make it, and then it would continue the history of teams that lose all their coordinators.
Pondering thoughts. Okay, pondering thoughts. So, yep, there you have it. All right, well, let's have our Week 7 preview. So
Gotcha.
the entire NFC North will be playing next week. So
are we going 75% again?
Let me look at the games here. All right, so this Sunday, October 19th, we have the Saints at Chicago. So the Bears play at home versus Saints. We have the Vikings are also at home versus the Eagles. We have the Packers playing in Arizona against the Cardinals. And then Monday night, primetime, back-to-back primetime games for the Lions. Bucks are coming to Detroit.
That's a game.
Detroit will be at home against the Bucks.
What do we think? I'm gonna go Vikings Eagles. That's
boy. Oh boy.
I'm gonna go Eagles. I'm gonna go
I'm going 2-2.
2-2. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go Eagles.
I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to jinx anything, but I just think I think the NFC North is going 2-2 next week.
So what's gonna happen is the Cardinals just lost their quarterback for a little bit, right? So they're gonna trade for Joe Flacco. So we're going Joe Flacco for the third time, and then they're gonna get rid of him because Lamar Jackson still seems to be a little bit injured. So we're gonna have a reunion. They're gonna send Joe Flacco to the Ravens, and he's gonna retire with the Ravens. And we play the Ravens in a few weeks, so it's Joe Flacco the fourth.
So yeah, okay, gotcha.
Just putting it out there, Joe Flacco.
A lot of these teams that I'm looking at though are very desperate for a win that we're playing.
Yeah.
Saints are desperate for a win, and you got Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams, former teammates at is it Oklahoma? I think so. I don't even know college football, but I think I know that. I just remember that Caleb Williams replaced him and made that comeback win.
When Lincoln Riley was over there?
Yeah.
And then went to USC?
Yep. So, that'll be an interesting matchup. Saints are they're going to be playing with a sense of urgency for sure.
They need to win
Eagles,
this game.
2 straight losses. They're going to be playing desperation. Cardinals just keep finding ways to lose. So, I don't, but like you said, I don't know. Maybe losing Kyler Murray is going to give him a little spark. Who knows?
He's playing Call of Duty. No. What is it? What's the new game that just came out?
I don't know.
Not Warzone.
I don't know.
Battlezone.
Oh,
or Battlefield. He's playing Battlefield right now. So that's why he doesn't want to play.
Well, he does fit in with 4th graders. So.
So this Gabriel.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. And then Bucks at Lions. That's going to be a hell of a game.
I'm going 75%. Yeah. We're going 75 club.
Okay. So now you're going 3. Now you're going 3-1.
3-1.
3-1. All right. I'm sticking with 2-2.
Here's to the Lions losing again.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying the video. And we will be here Thursdays. This is NFC North West Coast edition. JC, any final thoughts before we say our goodbye?
I didn't throw any strays to Eddie this time, except for this one right now. Sorry, Eddie.
Well, and the upside down Lions.
Okay, but that's towards the team, not him.
Oh, why'd you start now, though? Other NFC North teams have been losing.
I didn't have the posters.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That is this is only week 2 with that. Alrighty.
And Stranger Things come out soon, so the upside down.
Dude, I feel like we've been waiting for 10 years.
They're adults now. They were kids. They're 20-something.
I know. Such a great show, though. I should just watch it from the beginning and then have that oh my God, they aged 10 years.
Just like Jared Goff, aged 10 years.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much again for tuning into NFC North West Coast Edition. We are coming here from Cali, so sending love to all of the NFC North fans nationwide, worldwide, wherever you listen to the podcast, because we know we have some listeners that are worldwide. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday.
Deuces.